Hey everybody, this is Way to Fail, and we're back with more Lords of the Realm where things are not looking up. In fact, they're not doing very happy at all because we've lost Cambridgeshire to the knight who raised a gigantic peasant army and apparently doesn't take a happiness hit for raising the army as we talked about last time. And he split my kingdom to two-thirds of itself, took a big chunk for himself. Of course, there is the other issue that I was wondering last time how the knight was able to hit through two armies to take the county. Turns out that if you are garrisoning a county with an army over it, he can still walk after the combat and attempt to take it. So right now we have two counties left. Not a lot of crowns to do things with. I have some, but I'm looking for mercenaries to try and bolster myself right now, and avian knights just aren't going to cut it. And in fact, my big worry is if the knight makes a move to the east with this army, which is still substantial, he could take me out entirely. Now what we have left is another county that we can take, Essex, but it looks like the Earl, who has an army of at least 400, is starting to step up his attempt to do that, or at least move around. He could be going for Kent, I doubt it. Usually the AI will go for Essex from here first. So we could be screwed in our two little places, and then we're going to be forced to try and push back against an AI that may just be a little bit too much for us. So I'm not going to say it's going to be a short series. It could just be that we lose early and then I have to sort of reboot it a little bit into the game with maybe some toned down military AI, because I can't compete with not being able to raise forces. But we're going to see where this goes, because it could be that I just survive and build up and rise up and surprise everybody. So there's the Earl. He's making his march inland. And one other thing I forgot to mention before is that while Essex is on the table, this game you cannot actually take a county unless it is a county that's adjacent to you. So there's Savernarn or Caernarvon Castle done for the Countess. And here's our first report. freepeasantreport.com, I guess. So look, you rule your lands with grace and skill. Really? Because I just lost a third of them. My happiness is a solid 8. So I am the worst ruler, but not by as much as I used to be. I mean, look at this. The freaking... I have more counties than this guy, the bishop, and he still gets to keep it. So notice where we are in terms of castles. The knight has no castles. That could be my saving grace, except he can raise giant armies. Most crowns goes to the bishop, which I guess is because he hasn't been able to overtake anything. Most counties goes to the knight because he's been on the warpath, and the knight and the earl, of course, I would be sandwiched between the two people that are raising the most armies right now. So that may really limit my options here. And look, I have the least happiest people possible, so Countess, you're no match for me. Way to fail self. Your puny lands will soon be mine. Look, she's all countsy. I'm not sure how you say it. But here we go. Look, as I predicted last time, the knight totally ditched all of the cattle we had there. And the baron's going to go ahead and take some more counties. So yeah, like I said, that's disappointing, because I had a really good economy building up in Cambridgeshire, and now the knight's totally fucked it up. So maybe those people will start starving, I don't know, but you know, we have storms and losing grain, and our people are on the verge of starvation right now, because I don't know if they'll make it through the year on the current ration. But we are going to recover a field. And right now my biggest hope is that I can actually get some production from miners, start to get some things. Actually, my biggest hope is to get some mercenaries to go through to let me push back, because I just can't raise an army to compete right now. So I'm going to have to look inwards to try and develop outwards. You can see Lincolnshire. These people are still immigrating there, even though the knight got a ton of units from there or there. I'm not sure. So with just some domestic things to attend to, our turns are going to be pretty short, so let's see how quickly we get squished like a bug in this episode. So there is the Earl. Like I said, something I forgot to mention before is that you can only take counties that are adjacent to you. So like the Countess can take this county because it's next to Gloucestershire. The Earl can take this county because it's next to Middlesex. The knight just marched and I wasn't paying attention, so that's bad when your neighbor is trying to kill you, you're not paying attention to him. It's going to be a surprise for everybody. What did he do? Well, he is just sitting on that county right now. And right here we have the knight going in here, trying to butt heads with the baron. Let me take a quick pause real quick. Sorry, just got a very random cough that I have no idea where it came from. But yeah, it could be my defending grace could be trying to finish this castle, but it's going to take a lot of resources that I don't have. So right now, if I don't hit the Norman crossbowmen, they could do me okay, but they're not what I need right now. I need some melee troops. Although it's better than no army. I could try with some peasants. Ugh. But 50 swordsmen will tear that army up. I don't know. I feel like I should save it for Swedish swordsmen. Well, I could try that route again. If only I could combine my mercenary armies. So there's some mercenaries trying to go around here. And the knight does need to be defended against. Let's see here. How many crowns do I have? I may have enough to where I could actually raise some of my own swordsmen to go with these guys, if I can keep my happiness up. So we are going to go ahead and get the crossbowmen. And we gotta hope that we hit a merchant fast. We're gonna keep the crossbowmen here for now, just because this county can better afford the hit than this county where food can barely feed the 800 people, and we used to actually, well no, our population's going up by quite a bit. So once we get this grain harvest, if it survives the year, we'll be doing a little better. But for now I've just got to focus on trying to live through whatever it is I'm trying to do. So we're just going to walk you all back across here, because it doesn't look like the knight's trying to do anything. I could actually jump up there and try and take that county. Oh, I could be so stupid. I don't know, his attention seems to be elsewhere, and I need some kind of standing army to deter him. So I'm going to try and loop around here, see if I can get some swordsmen in a turn or two. Even just a few will do. Just something to stop my crossbowmen from getting roasted by anything that comes through. So the Swedish swords would be really nice. I can't actually afford to hire both. We're going to go to our next turn. So there's the Earl. Why are you destroying those fields? He's just taken another county, and there's the knight, who's now trying to take on the Baron, and he's raised another army. So he's obviously focused on his western expansion right now. And he's got another army raised here that he's just combined, so ugh. So he's just raising people all over the place. Which could be good, could be not good. I guess it's one way to keep population control. He's starting to build a castle. He's going to be able to build that castle real quick, so we could have a siege on our hands here in a minute. Because we're just going to we're going to park you all here. And if need be, we're going to raise... I really want a merchant that sells good weapons to go through here. So of course storms destroy our fucking crops. We go from 300 to 225, pardon my language here, but I mean that's the difficulty I chose. And let's see, we can go to half ration, which could totally destroy our ability to raise troops. So we're actually, as much as I don't like to do it, we're going to eat sheep. Tonight we dine on 6 sheep. And we may have enough grain for next harvest, because we're going to certainly plant more. I'm a little surprised I have not had a merchant come by here. So more Norman crossbows. Didn't I just hire some Norman crossbowmen? Well, apparently let's see what Norfolk has first. So the Swedish swordsmen are going through. Just not the people that I want. And my population continues to dwindle here. So they're going to be okay. Let's see here. I'm so sorry about the coughs. I don't know where they're coming from. So they're going to Lincolnshire. I really need a merchant next turn, because he's probably going to try and just finish this castle immediately, just so I'm forced to siege. So there we go. The Earl didn't have to attack that county to take it. Apparently he didn't have to attack either of these counties to take it, because you can bribe counties when you walk in them sometimes. Sometimes they'll beg you to take control. So I have no idea what the knight's doing there now. Oh! Oh shit. He is going for my homeland. And we have some fucking teenagers outside honking the horn. Okay, so the knight is going for his power play. And because he's in my county, I can see just how many he has, how many people he has. How big is your army? Alright, so first off, half rations for everybody, because we're going to be losing food real fast. 306 people. We have some weapons. If there's Irish spearmen, that'll be amazing, but there's not. So what are we going to do here? First off, little Frank, you are the exact guy I wanted to see. Let's buy some ale. I'm going to need all the happiness I can get here. Let's sell some wool. You can see the price is already starting to crash. It's down to 18. So, what do we got left? Grain prices have shot up dramatically. I guess we're going to buy 50 swords. Because that's all we've got. Oh my god, stupid cough. That's all we've got. So what does that leave us? That leaves us with an army that can barely move to cover this spot. Good. Because that means he'll have to walk over it to kill it, and that means my people are going to go incredibly hungry here in just a minute. So that's our crossbowmen. And now that our happiness here is 14 and people are in perfect health, at least for now, and we're feeding how many freaking troops here? Yeah, the other unfortunate thing is that weapons cost the same, even though some weapons are way better than others. But they're just all the same regardless. So we're going to raise 100 troops, maybe 150. Either way, we're going to take a dramatic happiness hit here. So we're going to raise 100. I wish I had more. But these are desperate times. 11 or 10% of the county's population. And oh, wow, we actually didn't take a huge happiness hit. And because of rain and harvest, my harvest is stupidly low. Probably at this rate better that I just buy more cattle. So we'll buy 20 more cows. Give them some more fields. I said give them some more fields. More fields. There we go. Because we're going to need more herders. And it looks like 20 cattle will feed plenty of people. I wish I could disperse my armies back into the population, but now that they're gone, they're gone. So at least when my grain stores go, my cattle should be able to take care of these people for a little bit. And I don't have to drop my ration too much. So I lost 2 happiness for that raising army. That's why you want the happiness fuel there. So let's go ahead and combine these forces. And now what do we got? Oh, I think I can look at the army. There we go. Morale fair. Split the army. Can't disband the army because it has crossbowmen in it. So the slaughterers, let's see if they can get slaughtered or not. So we're going to have a fight for our life with me having a very random cough that I have no idea where it's coming from because I haven't had anything like that all day. And now the Earl actually may be doing me a solid by trying to attack the knight in his back door up here. Or it means that we're all going to be fighting for Cambridge. So here we go. That guy's gone up there. Castle Failkeep. It prepares for an assault from the forces of the knight. And wait a minute. So if I wasn't able to garrison that castle in time, has it really been that long? Did he just take my county? Let's find out. No, he hasn't. But he did set my castle on fire. Which is okay, because I've invested nothing in it. Pretty much he set a foundation on fire. Alright. So let's go ahead and try and see if we can take these guys out. So we lose grain stores. We're already going to be going to half ration here. But at least we were able to get some grain planted before it went away for good. Not ideal at all, but what is on hard economy. So half rations for you. More stores lost. Oh my god, where is a merchant that will actually sell me happiness juice, also known as alcohol? Apparently nowhere to be found, so this place could very easily go into revolt next turn, and probably will. Because the only way you can raise happiness is through random events and beer, and feeding double rations, which actually, you know what, I can afford to do for a little bit. As long as these guys are able to harvest whatever they can, because people continue to leave because happiness is at 5. Anyway, let's deal with the task at hand. See if we can take out the peasant armies of the knights. So there we go, 300 versus 300. The slaughterers versus the hydras. Yes, take charge of the battle. So this is part of that peasant army from before. Their morale's not as high as it used to be. Crossbowmen have a much shorter range. We're going to use these guys to try and mow down. Probably... Well, we just got to mow down whatever we can here. So we're going to move these guys up. This kind of desperation city right now. Because we just want to keep these guys off of our archers. See how pathetically short their range is. Just pause this again, because we're going to take advantage of the pause as best we can. Said we're going to try to anyway. Because now I can't click on my units. Must first select a unit. Well, that would be nice if I actually could. There we go. So let's go ahead and move you all up here. Sacrificial swordsman, your sacrifice will be sung about for ages and ages. And actually what I'm interested in seeing is how many of these guys they have left. It looks like my crossbowmen are just going to town on these or on these swords. So that looks good. If we can just keep up that ranged assault. Wow, that's a lot of bolts that aren't doing a lot of good. There we go. So we're losing our melee people, but the idea is just for them to be meat shields. And the last of their army is fleeing, while our swordsmen are rallying for victory. So there we go. I can offer a quarter here. I probably will when they drop below 50, because I've lost... No, they retreat. And what the hell? He actually still has an army. Okay, so that means he could actually walk around me and take my county next turn if he really wanted to. That sucks. Can I move this army anymore? No. So I officially... I mean, if the knight had already made a move to go onto the county, that's fine, but I thought maybe he could double move these things, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. For now, while we're here, grain's super expensive here as well. We gotta save it. Gotta see if we can save our ship. So the bishop finally takes county. And the Earl is making a move for Cambridgeshire. So that's a twist. So this is the big land grab, as everyone's fighting border wars all over the place. The knight is now sending his oodles of forces down here. And the knight is trying to siege something. Yeah, this could end really ugly in a moment's time. Okay, so that castle's officially on fire. But all that means is just finding that the Baron is pretty much able to do whatever he wants. Oh no, the Baron's getting besieged. So how many people do we have left foraging in our lands? Enough to kill pretty quickly. So we are just gonna bow them and see. I'm gonna offer him quarter here in a moment. Let's see here, 30, there we go. Before you run, just they accept mercy and they run away. So I actually defeated the knight. Yay! Can I move this army anymore? No! Should I try and take Sussex while I still can? Maybe. Because Cambridgeshire looks like it's going to be flipped around like a meat tray. I don't even know if that's something you flip around. Let's see here. Right now, though, we're losing our grain fast, and we're losing our happiness fast. And somehow our cattle are multiplying like rabbits. So I may have to just try and move this army through. See if the Earl can do some damage here. I may be able to take this out on my own. Let me actually send a message to the Earl here. Just essentially saying, there's poop on your face. Now we're gonna be good little nobles this time and say, nice hat, then Caneek's a dick, which that's the Middle English pronunciation, which they would have used at this time, Caneeked instead of knight. Do you pronounce all the letters? It's tons of fun. So there we go, double ration. Kept me from having a county in revolt. Unfortunately, I won't be able to do that multiple turns here. So we'll see what happens, because people are still immigrating. But maybe not as much now as they were, which means that maybe the knight finally is pissing off his population. Of course, the knight probably also is going to be going after Norfolk in a second, and there's no way that I can really defend it. Because Norfolk's happiness is so low that if I wanted to raise a bunch of an army, the people won't let me. So I've just got my one unit. I'm half debating just going to try and take on the other county. But for now, oh, so the Earl grabs it. So that means the knight is going to be displeased and maybe distracted enough to not go after me, or the knight's just gonna do some weird crap. Okay, so they're gonna be trading blood for blood here, as the Baron is just expanding like a wild man or something. He really could be taking that county. So here's our map. Most of the area is taken. The Earl went from having these two counties at the start of this session to adding Hampshire, Buckinghamshire, and Bedfordshire, or Shire, however you want to say it. And you can see, I wish I could zoom in on that icon. There's a damn cough again. Because this has just been a bucket of blood back and forth. So my poor castle. Yeah, pause. So right now I may need to do something which is a little too clever for my own good. And right now we actually only lost one population. And that's from people leaving once again to the ever-glorious Lincolnshire. We don't want to lose a field, but we're not going to get a max harvest. So remember that for next time. Down here, poor effect on ripening crops, which sucks. But at least it's not storms. So we're just going to harvest as much as we can. Maybe able to get the whole kit and caboodles here. There we go. Can't believe I said kit and caboodles. I have not said that in years. But let's see here. No mercenaries as well. So I'm going to try and be a little too clever with this army. And we're going to see if we can dodge this conflict, because I don't want to jump in here and provoke the Earl, even though I could sweep in and take that county right now. Outright. That's going to be something to do later, because the Earl has overextended himself officially. It's probably going to be better for me to make a play for this county down here, Middlesex. So let me see if I can just dodge this. County's a poor one, have mercy on us, so they are in trouble. Looks like they are if they're just eating sheep and that's it. So maybe they have low population. Maybe I can take them out and add them to my keep, and then hopefully not have the Earl try and crush me because we're neighbors. But we'll see. Could be a little too clever for my own good. The Earl is going to take on the knight, leaving this county for the taking. Got little castles popping up all over the place. So yeah, these guys are going to be fighting over Cambridge like it's going out of style. So there we go. The Earl finishes Tintagel, which I think is the one that the knight plopped in Cambridgeshire. The Earl says, oh wow, okay, so that message means that he thinks I'm a dick and he doesn't really care what I have to say. If it was a flattering message, he'd say, oh cool, whatever. So the knight says, fool, can't you see how much attention the Earl's paying to you? Really? Because you just double-crossed me. So let's go play with the knight here and say, sometimes these shortest messages are the best. So the toning one's kind of funny. You look like a toad. No, on second thought, that's unfair to toads. You look worse. I think that's too wordy. We're just going to say eat shit. Simple, straight to the point. Even in 13th century England, they would have known exactly what that meant. So I could troll and get this county, but I'm going to go for the expansion move instead. We'll see how that goes. I'd love to have a merchant pop in here. So we got one up here. I lose stores, but fuck it. My people can eat. And now we're having people immigrate to Cambridgeshire, which is totally bizarre because they have no food. I'm sure they have no food by this point. That just must mean that my people are that pissed off. And look at this. Grain prices are going up. Wool prices going down. At least ale's more effective now that I have less people. I can buy some more weapons, but I think at this rate it's going to be better for me just to try and stick with normal ration. I can't raise any other armies right now. So we're just going to really try and get our econ back in line. If that means we don't get a full plant this time, then we don't, because we have so many cattle. Hey, Fatberry. How you doing? So that's 72 immigrants to Cambridgeshire. And then there we go, popular wedding, everything's happy. They're going to Cambridgeshire now too. Oh, Danish swordsman. That is a really, really good get for me. Because that means with Danish swordsmen, they're 200, they're strong. I can finally start fighting back. They're probably my second favorite set of mercenaries to the Irish spearmen. Or the Scottish spearmen, which are sets of 300 or 400. So we are going to go ahead and raise this. Let's make sure I don't have any other mercenaries here. I don't. But I do have enough money. So if I raise those guys, I'm going to try and kick the knight in the scrotum. And I could try and take on the Earl too. Like I said, he's overextended, but that army does concern me. But we are definitely raising this army. I mean, what other reason? We're not just going to sit here and let someone else take England. That's for us. So we're going to be going, I guess, in a base race with the Earl here. Just going to drop these guys in the Knight's Land. And we may be able to see the power of 200 swordsmen. Would have liked to have added maybe some peasants with them, but considering my happiness is at starkly low times, probably not going to happen. So let's go ahead and hit the next turn button, and the Earl is now defending his keep. Doesn't seem poised to strike me at the moment. And we'll see if the knight reacts to me entering his lands, because right now he's still doing a bit of a land grab of his own. Yeah, he is. So is he going to fight me this turn? No. Message from the knight. Do you consider yourself a fitting lord? My gesture make a better ruler. I don't know, with a face like that, and a little smug look and crop haircut, and OGing yourself, as I probably have already said, with all those gold chains, we can talk about who looks like a piece of crap. So here we go. Situation a little bit screwed up. Our counties aren't happy, and our income's low because we're supporting a bunch of mercenaries. And let me just go ahead and take care of the administrative duties first, because we are going to need more herders because we want to get more cattle. And we do want to go ahead and buy some more ale, even though we're not making a lot of income right now. Let's see, what does the gossip say? Suffolk County's stores are full to the brim. Really? Is that so? I don't know. We have a castle that's on fire. So people are a little happy again. We're still getting immigrants to Cambridgeshire. Danish swordsmen again, but I can't afford them. But I mean, hopefully what I have is enough. But so that's pretty sweet / interesting that I'm able to hire them 2 times in a row, because that's atypical of this game. So I don't want to cut into my crop rotation too much here. So it may be time for me to actually, instead of doing that, we're just going to go ahead and ship some of our sheep. That's right, you can do that. You can send sheep. Hopefully they won't go through the Earl's lands because opposing armies can destroy them. But with less sheep, my field's less crowded, and now I have more counties with more production. So if I have a better chance of hitting merchants. So I'm sitting on a bunch of wool that I could sell, so I'm going to miss those swordsmen, which sucks, but maybe something better will come along and my mercenary armies will work out. So we're going to go ahead and stop this episode here, and next time we are going to start with a little bit of a cliffhanger. Can we take Essex? Will that piss off the Earl? Can we actually fight through the night and take back, maybe take Lincolnshire? Maybe can we shoot all the way for Yorkshire? I don't know. With 200 brave swordsmen that are for hire, anything's possible. Chances are this is a bunch of peasants. So that's Way to Fail. This is all for now with Lords of the Realm. I will see you all next time as the intrigue really starts to build up. Take care.